Everything that Nike did with Caitlyn Clark got them into a lot of problems. Has ignoring Caitlyn been one of the worst decisions they've ever made? In the past few years, Nike has lost ground. Since 2021, they've lost more than $100 billion. A lot of people wanted their CEO to be fired, which made him quit. Are sports becoming less popular? Not at all. What is going on at Nike, and what does Caitlyn Clark have to do with it? Not that big of a deal for a skill that will last, right? That's what everyone else thought too. Nike was about to make a bag because they might have just signed the biggest deal in 20 years. After that, nothing. No sound at all. Nike quit. There is some good news, though. Nike paid a lot of money to sign one of the few stars from this age. Just think about Caitlyn Clark, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and LeBron James. In April of this year, Caitlyn signed an 8-year deal with Nike worth up to $28 million. This is a good deal for Nike, especially since Caitlyn will have her own shoe line. Nike has no plans to make a Caitlyn Clark shoe, even though she was named WNBA Rookie of the Year by everyone. Why not? It's clear that Nike's official logic is wrong. What do they want to hide? The story goes in a crazy direction. Nike saw a chance to sell to a whole generation and is now using that to push old products. What's going on with this? Here is the money. First, Caitlyn had already signed a deal with Nike that didn't bind her when she got into trouble in college. Caitlyn was the most famous college player in the country. She was 4 times more famous than the most famous male player and twice as famous as Angel Reese, who came in second. There was no such thing before. When she became a worker, a number of shoe companies came after her. She has been chosen by Under Armour to be the face of the Curry brand. Adidas and Nike also put in bids. People were waiting for news about her signature shoe, but there is still no news. She's stuck with Nike because they pushed her in college. Before there was, but this update is so pointless. Then A'ja Wilson, who had just won another MVP award, took off her shoe and told Caitlyn a shocking secret. Wilson's shoe has been in the works since 2023 and should be released in the spring of 2025. This plan calls for Clark's shoes to be sold in shops between 2026 and 2027. What? 2027? Nike's reason? Along with making millions of pairs and planning a marketing effort, Clark and the rest of the Nike team need to help with the long process. So why are they not talking about Caitlyn at all? In either case, something is going on at Nike behind the scenes. This year, their prices dropped about 20%. It seems like a lot of things are moving around because I know they've fired people and hired new ones. I understand that they're saying that's partly to blame, but that seems like such a small thing when you have Caitlyn Clark as your star. I think it has more to do with politics than anything else that Caitlyn Clark isn't getting the praise, spots, ads, merch, and other things she should have gotten during her rookie season. That makes sense, right? There's more, though. His first year, he had his own unique shoe. Nike was quick and smart enough to know 20 years ago, hey, let's get LeBron's shoe out here. This guy's going to be a big deal. For some reason, they can't do this for Caitlyn Clark. And lo and behold, there hasn't been a Nike ad for Clark as a pro, though it wasn't really pushed on people. Take that in, there was no Caitlyn Clark ad. For 4 years, she was the biggest star in all of sports, which drove up TV numbers and didn't involve a Nike ad, if that's Nike's point of view. They're not telling the truth. To sign LeBron James in 2003, shoemakers were interested. It was important to Reebok, Adidas, and Nike that he make a signature shoe when they signed him. Nike making his shoes before he even signed. They didn't want the story to get out, so they came up with a code name Air Zoom Nova. LeBron wrote it backwards. Okay, that was clear. That's why they chose Air Zoom Generation. Even though LeBron wasn't aware of it, Nike began making sneakers for him while he was still in high school. They meant to totally scare him, and they were successful. LeBron worked with Nike to make the LeBron 1S, which he wore in his first NBA game. I understand that Nike has become so bad at making shoes that what used to take 3 months now takes 3 years. There's something else going on here, though. Caitlyn is setting records while wearing Kobe shoes, but she hasn't been in a Nike yet. They are trying very hard not to draw attention to her. Could this have been the plan all along? Sign her to one of the longest contracts ever, only to toss her aside because Nike is busy with someone else, A'ja Wilson? To sum up, Nike got lucky with the best marketing chance of the generation, and they're using it to promote old products. What's going on with this? Here is the money. People who know about it say that it does have something to do with A'ja Wilson, who is the WNBA MVP and a Nike star. It's not just Wilson, though. It's the company culture as a whole, which cares more about making noise than making it, unlike Nike used to. In fact, well-known and connected writer Ethan Strauss said on Substack that he has met sources who say it is definitely connected to WNBA, NBA, MVP, and Nike athlete. Really? What would that be? A lot of people on social media didn't like it when Caitlyn signed her $28 million deal with Nike. In fact, the following headline was written in a well-known magazine. It said that Caitlyn Clark is getting her own shoe. That's why people are mad. The story says that posting about Caitlyn's shoe deal has caused uproar, even though it's good for women's basketball. What is this? Some fans said that white WNBA players were the only ones wearing brand shoes. Aja Wilson of Las Vegas Aces got her own shoe before Clark, who hadn't even played in a WNBA game yet, according to a lot of people. A lot of records in her first season, which earned her Rookie of the Year, though it hasn't been made public yet. We had never seen an athlete with so much speed before. Plus, Nike, the biggest sporting clothing brand in the world, didn't do anything about it, and we didn't hear a word about it. If I were Caitlyn Clark's manager, I would really be rethinking the deal I signed. Again, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Why do you miss a chance like that? In what way do you not capitalize? It doesn't make sense at all. Is Aja Wilson the best player in the WNBA right now?
Yes.
Is Caitlyn Clark the WNBA's face right now?
Yes.
Do I think that Caitlyn Clark's shoe would sell 100 times more than Aja Wilson's shoe if they both came out today at the same time? I believe that is the case. This is bad news that I have to share with everyone, whether it's fair or not. That is the truth. We saw how many jerseys were sold. The most jerseys were sold in the WNBA this season, but we didn't see the exact numbers. Even though Aja was named MVP for the third time, her shirt sales were about the same as Kate Martin's, who didn't play much in the second half. Do you think this scared Nike away? Yes, it is. It's not about business. They're not about making the WNBA bigger. They're about fairness, variety, and including everyone. What they are doing to Caitlyn Clark is crazy. It's not good business. It's not thinking ahead. That's not it. Caitlyn isn't very good at basketball. It's just cruel and racial. Why would Nike put doing the right thing over making money? Even worse, why would Nike change their minds when this clearly shows they have a racist goal? Things wouldn't have been so bad if they had just moved on in the best way to make money. They didn't, though. They are hiding behind weak reasons like less money coming in and cuts. Still, they have a lot of time to work on things for Aja Wilson. Is it true that their WNBA service is still open? Then why don't they just hang out with Caitlyn? They know what will happen. That's why people will forget about Aja, and Nike will have to pay a deal that isn't making them any money. In the NBA, this has happened before. In a later part of his story, Ethan did a great job of comparing Tim Duncan and Allen Iverson. Duncan was definitely the better player, but Iverson sold a lot of shoes, so no one said it wasn't fair. When Tim Duncan's shoes didn't sell well, Nike tried them twice before taking them off the market. Who didn't care? Steve Kerr. Things might be different for Caitlyn Clark if Aja Wilson were more like Duncan, but they aren't. Aja really loves being in Nike ads, which is normal for her. A lot of people want to be in ads and on signs. Plus, it makes money. But she also seems to support the idea that it is racist. Read what she said to her friend Kelsey Plum while she watched Paige Buckers, a white athlete. Plum said, "Thank you, but AJ's answer shows that Paige's wealth has made her successful." She is also a great basketball player. Of course, no, not really. Which one is it? They don't want to upset Aja if she is Nike's best female star. Think about the reaction Caitlyn would have gotten if Nike had given her a sneaker right away. Even Caitlyn Clark's coach told her she was wrong. The WNBA sent out a tweet about the first practice game in which Caitlyn played a big role. But the Lynx and USA coach said, tonight there are other teams playing besides Caitlyn Clark, etc. The W stands for more than one player. A WNBA, an Olympic teacher, using the hashtag made some people mad. An older woman is angry about the preseason appearance of a 22-year-old. It wasn't all, though. Caitlyn wasn't put on Team USA, which wasn't a surprise. What was the reasoning given? She wasn't ready for it yet. Oh no, it's not anger, it's a basketball choice. Caitlyn was named to the WNBA's first team as a rookie. She led all rookies in points, field goals made, assists, steals, and minutes played, and she also led all players in assists and three-pointers made. She came in fourth place for MVP. Over 1 million people watched her games on TV, even though only 300,000 people watched the average WNBA game. It cost more to get into her first playoff game than to any other WNBA playoff game before it. The Washington Mystics recently played Caitlyn's team, the Indiana Fever. There were so many fans that they had to move the game to the Wizards Arena, which set a new WNBA attendance record. In spite of all the fuss, she is really amazing. In the end, Team USA admitted that not having her on the list was a mistake. Soon, Nike will feel bad about ignoring the WNBA's biggest star. Fans are also starting to notice, which is giving Nike a lot of bad press. Look at these words. Now, let me make this clear. One, Nike made Caitlyn Clark a big deal, but they haven't written anything to congratulate her on her roadie win. Second, the WNBA hasn't posted the Roddy winner either, but the Adidas representative made a whole post praising CeCe's work, which made me shake my head. It's strange that I haven't seen any Nike ads with Caitlyn Clark since she became a pro and won Rookie of the Year. It looks like a huge miss. She still doesn't have a shoe, even though I paid her tens of millions of dollars. There is no doubt that the WNBA does not like Caitlyn Clark. Nike does not want to make a fuss. If you are a straight white Catholic woman who wants to play competitive basketball in the WNBA, you will face a lot of problems. It's smart for Adidas to celebrate Caitlyn Clark's great rookie year while her sponsor Nike stays quiet so as not to hurt Aja's feelings. What do you think, Nike? Are you really afraid of what people will say on social media if you give Caitlyn Clark her own shoe? Are you sure it's clear why the previous CEO had to step down? Tell me what you think in the area below for comments.